Welcome to APDesign Digital Tools. Now we're going to take our Make 2D information and we're going to bring it into Illustrator. So the idea is that you get as much done here in Rhino as possible, so that if you end up having to edit all these drawings again, you've already got the kind of workflow working, and as you move into Illustrator, it'll already be up to date. But the reason you'd move into Illustrator might be that you're starting to combine a lot of drawings together. Perhaps you're adding text, and Illustrator has a kind of better use of text, and then maybe there's some super graphics that you're going to add because these are diagrams of some sort. So there's a good reason to move into Illustrator at some point in your workflow. So let's talk about that workflow. What we're going to do is Illustrator will remember kind of how much of the screen was showing when you export. It doesn't. You can give it a scale to remember, but normally the drawings you're moving to Illustrator aren't really about scale. So what we'll do, I guess the first thing we want to do is kind of prep. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lock all these other layers, and let's see what is in the light gray. Essentially, I want to get rid of all of my curves. So I'm going to turn off, selecting hatches, and I'm just going to do a window and see all these curves that are possible on the light gray. I'm going to now delete, I think. Okay, maybe don't want to get rid of these. I'm just going to focus on this one. So get rid of that, and anything that's on the, I guess I got rid of the dark gray too. Perfect. Alright, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, if we look at what's on heavy, we'll see that it's a bunch of line segments. But they could be joined, and I think it would be better if we attempt to join them. So I'm just going to grab everything on heavy, and I'm going to just do the join command, and you can see that now I've got everything that was had a vertices in common. They created a join. That'll just make a kind of cleaner illustrated files later, and I'll just do that for every layer here. And it just makes for a cleaner drawing. Okay? Alright, so now let's take this information and we'll move it into Illustrator. So I'm just going to grab everything that I want to go into Illustrator, make sure that I've unlocked everything. And that looks good. And I'll export, create a test for myself. All this should be good. This would be how you would preserve model scale. These drawings aren't to any scale, so I'm not going to turn that on. But if you're exporting a plan and you wanted to get a specific scale, that would be how you'd do it. Okay, now let's go into Illustrator, turn that off, and we'll go ahead and open up Test AI. Okay. Alright, looks like I didn't bring in any of, that's right. Alright, so let's just go back. Alright, what I had done is I had turned off hatches down here, so it didn't select any of the hatches. So that didn't go in. So I have to just do this again, make sure that I selected everything I want. Export selected, test AI, okay. And let's go back into our Illustrator file. Okay, now it looks good. Alright, so one thing you might notice when you first get in here is that some of these hatches are not allowing you to see the line work. So they're basically rendering on top of the line work. So to change that, I'm just going to pull the light gray down below everything else. I'm going to pull the dark gray down below everything else, and you can see that as I did that, line work was starting to pop. You still don't see these kind of very faint lines. And let's check to see what that is. So it's on the lightest line weight, it looks like the hairline doesn't come in as any thickness. So we'll just give it a small thickness. And now you can see everything's coming in pretty good. Maybe my heavy's a little too heavy, so maybe I change that to say a 1.2, something along those lines. And so now I've got kind of complete control over the drawings. I can start to create labels and text and whatnot. And this is where you would really start to kind of be a lot more clear with this is a better program for documenting text and or starting to put in special super graphics that maybe discuss the project in some fashion. So let's say that stroke color. Alright, so there you go. That's kind of how you get started in bringing the Rhino information into Illustrator. Thanks.